What's up, YouTube? This is Max with the second episode of Q&A Pokemon. Let's get started. Our question yesterday was from Joey Mayer, who has this little funny-ass cow as his icon picture. Hey, I was wondering if a Dragonite is a good Pokemon to use competitively. I was wondering what a good EV and moveset would be for it. Thanks, MB Pokemon. Dragonite, eh? I had a Dragonite, and I really liked it. It could demolish a half team to a whole team all at once. And if using competitively, where I recommend it in single battles, it can demolish 3 Pokemon because your opponent is only going to have 3 Pokemon in a single battle competitive battle. Unless it's with your friends, of course, and you need friend codes like that. For Dragonite, it is a good Pokemon, and if you can get that Dragon Dance in there, the outrage that it can use that I'm going to suggest for its moveset is even better. That outrage is a great move. It has 120 power, and if you can get that in there without your opponent having a fairy type or a steel type, which a steel type you risk not having it a one-hit KO. Now, I like one-hit KOs with outrage, so I don't have to deal with all those um, retaliations of your opponent using a move, and your Dragonite can still have full health with taking out 3 different Pokemon. So to use it, I would put it in your party, or in your Pokemon of 3 when you're doing competitive battles. Um, if your opponent doesn't have a steel type Pokemon or a fairy type Pokemon, because your opponent could have a fairy type Pokemon and put that out there, and then you'd be in for trouble. I would like its special defense stat to raise a little bit if it ever got a Mega Evolution, because then it would eliminate that um, threat from fairy types. Its base attack stat is 134, so when I get to the move set, you'll see why our move set is a lot physical and not much special attack. And if you can get that Dragon Dance in here, because the move set that you see now is a Dragon Dance, Outrage, Steel Wing, Brick Break move set. That Dragon Dance, if you can get in there, if you get it in there, like if you don't think the Pokemon can kill you that you're up against, or it uses a Giga Impact or Hyper Beam or um, something that needs to rest a second turn, the opposing Pokemon, you can get that Dragon Dance in there, and it'll be that much better. It will just demolish your team with that outrage, the opposing team with that outrage, and all that good stuff. Now, if you and we put the Steel Wing in there to get rid of fairy types, obviously, but if you can't get that Steel Wing, another good physical attack, because Dragonite's best stat is attacking, another good physical attack would be a would be Earthquake, or Wing Attack. Wing Attack has a stab effect. You might be thinking, well, it only has a 60 power. Well, it's going to seem a lot more powerful because it does have a stab effect, and it'll be great to use that. I put Earthquake on mine just because I couldn't get that Steel Wing. If I could, I would put a Steel Wing on there, but I could put Earthquake on mine because that's 100 power, and it's a physical attack, and it's just a great attack altogether. You can't get affected by a Rocky Helmet or a Flame Body by Earthquake. And then we have the Brick Break to get rid of Reflect and Light Screen, which is great. You could, if your opponent likes to spam with Reflect and Light Screen, bam, you use that Brick Break, and then you use a Dragon Dance if you can, and Outrage. You don't have to worry about not killing the Pokemon or having a tough time getting that Pokemon down to 0 HP with the Outrage because it has Reflect and Light Screen. Just use that Brick Break, get rid of the Reflect and Light Screen, and you're in for the kill. You're in to demolish their team, unless, of course, they have a Fairy or a Steel type, which then you have to be a little bit more cautious, and that's where that Steel Wing comes in handy, and the Dragon Dance with the speed. Because if you're going to face a Steel type or a Fairy type, you want that speed for your advantage. Um, yeah, that speed would be good. Now, the suggested item that I would suggest that I put on mine when I used it was a Prism Berry. And the Person Berry, sorry, excuse me, I've been saying that wrong the whole time I ever first saw the berry. Person berry, I use it, gets rid of that confusion. Then you can get that two outrages in there without worrying about that confusion, and it's great. The outrage is powerful. You can get that in there. The only side effect of outrage is the confusion. Get rid of that confusion. Put a person berry on it. Bam, it's done. Get those two outrages in there. Hopefully, you can KO a couple of Pokemon, or not KO, maybe just get rid of a couple of Pokemon from your opponent's team. And then the suggestibility that I like is inner focus, because these days there's a lot of trainers who like to use the fake out ability, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I like the fake out. I like the fake out strategy. Sorry, I like the fake out strategy because of course, this fake out it's like a free attack, but not against Dragonite. That inner focus eliminates any flinching from any move, and so not just fake out, but any other move, no flinching. Don't have to worry about that, and no confusion for the first time with that person berry, and it just makes Dragonite that much more powerful. I don't really prefer the hidden ability, and I'm not going to tell you to get the hidden ability on Dragonite just because I like inner focus and it eliminates a lot of the strategy that um, other opposing trainers might want to use. So yeah, its health is pretty good. Um, you know, you might want to even use that Dragon Dance. I, I, I like using the Dragon Dance before Outrage. It just gives me more reassurance. You don't have to use the Dragon Dance before the Outrage. So as you saw, our moveset was a Outrage, Dragon Dance, Steel Wing, Brick Break. If you don't have that Steel Wing, put an Earthquake or a um, put an Earthquake or a a wing attack which has a stab, and they're both physical. If you don't like this move set, just remember that you want to stay within the physical moves, because that's its best stats, and it has a pretty good speed, which, there you go, Dragon Dance, even better speed. Um, and let's say your opposing trainer wants to take on what has a Salamence in their party, and you're using it competitively, and you see those 6 Pokemon up for single battles, and you see those 6 Pokemon up, and oh, they only get to pick 3 Pokemon. Well, and they have a Salamence in there. Well, chances are they're going to use the Salamence, especially. I learned that against the co-host of this channel, Brett. They're going to use that Salamence because Salamence is one of the best Dragon type Pokemon. So you could just pull out that Dragonite early, get that Dragonite in, and then use the Dragon Dance so you're way OP against Salamence and get that Salamence out of there, because if you get the Salamence with the Moxie hidden ability, that'll be your destruction. So yes, I do suggest using Dragonite for competitive battles, and I like it. The moveset that we gave you is probably the best one that you will find. Let us know if you find a better one in your opinion. Um, and if you're watching this video and you have any questions about any other things, just remember to comment below, and we'll get to you in one of our next videos. Thanks, YouTube. Remember to like and subscribe so we can keep going on with these videos, and make sure to comment with any of your questions that you might have. Bye.